from that part of the world. So good luck to all these young men here. 12-lap race, that slightly shorter race distance that you get with juniors makes it perhaps even a little bit more frantic, doesn't it? Because they know they've got less time to get the job done. So the juniors are there on their second formation lap here at Genk in Belgium, ready for the start of what's going to be a 12-lap race for the juniors. Thomas Preining on the pole position after winning the pre-final. Dean McDonald in his Euro Challenge debut. Young man from Scotland having a terrific drive there. Second on the grid on road 2. Max Timmerman and Richard Verschoor, who both went strongly in the Winter Cup. Alex Quinn and Reiners van Kampvoet rounding out the top 6. There are 34 drivers there. The grid set by the results of the pre-final. It's sunny and warm here now at the circuit, contrasting to what we had in the finals here last year, where it was freezing cold. And we had light snow flurries during the middle of the finals. So a really warm, pleasant and perfect day here. I'm Chris Hartley. Alongside me in the box is Matt Suckling. And I think we can expect a really close race here. Again, there's 5 or 6 drivers near the front of the field that could win this one, Matt.
Yeah, there certainly are. There's a lot to look out for towards the front. They've been told this weekend many times to keep it all clean down towards turn 1 and, more importantly, on the start line. So hopefully they've learned throughout all the heats they've done, the pre-finals, the second chance heats for a few at the back as well. But we are set to go for this one. Thomas Preining on the front row of the grid alongside Dean McDonald. He's progressed very well this weekend. Always one to look out for outside of row number 1. And then you look at Max Timmerman and Richard Verschoor on row number 2. They are definitely contenders for top points here this weekend in Genk. More points on offer for the main final here. We're about to go racing once again, side by side for the start. Are we going to get one? Yes, we are. As we go down towards turn number 1, it's the inside to be once again. Thomas Preining leads down ahead of Max Timmerman. He pushes him all the way through the corner. Dean McDonald on the outside line is going to be bumped out wide there. It looks like as well coming through. Alex Quinn into 4th place. He then gets muscled wide by Richard Verschoor as they go through turn 3 for the first time. Then into the tight right-hander at turn number 5. But the man up front, Thomas Preining, is doing a fantastic job. Closed down slightly there by Max Timmerman. Here comes Dean McDonald as well. They're 3 as 1 as they head off the back straight in towards turn number 6. What's going to happen? Top 3 stay as they are. Bit of a wide line into the corner there for the man who leads. Someone's off over the grass as they join the chicane at a later stage. But the man up front is doing the grand job. Thomas Preining turns his way through then to the completion of lap number 1 in a few corners time. Dean McDonald wants to get into second once again before Max Timmerman can close the door. It's not quite going to work. So he's going to sit there in that 3rd spot. 4th place is still Richard Verschoor. 5th place Alex Quinn. And 6th place for number 12, Reiners van Kampvoet. Up towards the end of lap number 1, Dean McDonald still pushing all the way as they head through across the line. Yellow flag at the final corner, but here comes McDonald down the inside at turn number 1. He's going to try and push hard. It's not quite going to work. That's going to open the door bravely for Alex Quinn to try and make a move, but again, he's not quite there. So that's how they look at the minute. Leader is Thomas Preining. 2nd is Max Timmerman. 3rd place is Dean McDonald. 4th place, Richard Verschoor. And 5th place, Alex Quinn.
I'm afraid it was Jordan Brown-Nutley who had the spin down at the final turn. So Jordan's rejoined, but he's at the back of the field. I just saw the back end of the incident, so whether he spun of his own volition or maybe there was some contact, I do not know. But the end result is the same. He's at the back of the field, I'm afraid. And Danny Crowes was the one who was running through the first lap, had to run off the road and run wide of the chicane, but he rejoined in the back end of the top 10. He didn't lose too many places as a result of that. End of the second lap then, Preining leading. McDonald back up to 2nd place. Verschoor 3rd. Verschoor going for it down the inside into the final turn. He goes 2nd. So McDonald, every time he gets to 2nd, somebody pushes him back down to 3rd. Max Timmerman is in 4th place. Richard Verschoor with the blue body work and the pink helmet there in 5th position. Through turn 1, they go in a change just behind, as well as Alex Quinn makes a move up into the top 6. So Alex making a nice move up the inside there to get ahead of Nick Dunker and take the place away from the Dutch driver. The race leader, though, has got something like 6 or 7 tenths of a second advantage all of a sudden now, Thomas Preining. A bit like what he did in the pre-final. And further back, as the corner onto the back straight, they tangle a little bit, and McDonald gets through. And into 2nd place he goes, and suddenly a nice big gap. Van Kampvoet is the next one to come through. And the one that's going to drop all the way back to, I think, 5th place is Richard Verschoor. So I think Quinn might pick up a place here as well, possibly, or maybe not. He's going to sit at the back of the group, but he's right with them now. So it's Preining, then McDonald, then Van Kampvoet, and then Verschoor settled back into 4th place, actually. But again, at the inside, he goes into the final turn. He likes his moves there, doesn't he? And it pays off once again. So he returns to 3rd place. Then it's down to fourth now, Van Kelmthut. Then it's Max Timmermans, and then it's Alex Quinn. And again, it's changing in this battle for third place on the way through turn one. They swap again here, and this time it's Van Kelmthut that gets through. Verschoor back down to fourth place. Timmermans and Quinn watching all this go on from very close behind in fifth and sixth positions, but all the time they battle. It's just released now Dean McDonald. He hasn't got to worry about them anymore, and he can now begin to challenge the race leader. But, Matt, he's got a 1.1 second gap to try and close.
Yeah, I was just thinking if Thomas Preening does exactly like he did in pre-final, wins about 3 seconds ahead of everyone else. But at the minute, it looks like Dean McDonald's going to try and keep him honest. He's got that clear track ahead of him now and no one behind to challenge, so he has got time to do so. 9 laps to go in this junior final then. In towards the final corner goes Thomas Preening. Second, Dean McDonald. Third place is Richard Verschoor. Max Timmerman's now fourth. Make that third place into the final corner. Slightly wide on the exit though. They're going to be side by side. Little bump for Richard Verschoor over the curb. He's going to steal it back at the line. Behind that, Alex Quinn's being pushed all the way as well by Rinus van Kamthorpe in towards turn number 1. And a battle that was 4 cars now becomes about 8 as they join them all at turn number 1. More contact up the inside there. Looks like number 12, Rinus van Kamthorpe's going to lose out 2, maybe 3 places there as he ran side by side with Alex Quinn, through turn number 3. So it's all changed again for third place. Alex going to fight back on the inside of both Max Timmermans and also there Richard Verschoor, but the door was shut halfway down the straight, which is not good. You need to keep your wits about you and keep the door open, and that's what Max Timmermans has done. He lets once again a couple more carts through, one of those being Richard Verschoor back into third place. Alex Quinn now goes to fourth. Timmermans again drops like a stone to fifth, and we've got more and more now joining the mix. They head down to the final corner. Looks like Nick Dunker and Yuri Vips are up there as well.
On the previous lap, the gap from first to second widened by a few tenths to 1.4. So Preening controlling things at the front for the time being. But we've got this almighty scrap. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8 of them battling over the final place. And the podium, there's been some carnage further back down the order. We've got 3 carts off on the grass here just underneath us. Here we've got 64. That's 90. And what other? It's just cut the corner and rejoined now. He's 72. So they all get back on the track. But a long, long way down the order. Top 2 still set fair, and this battle for third place has still got Richard Verschoor coming under attack from Alex Quinn now, and Alex Quinn down towards turn 6 gets very close, and there they go whipping through the shots. They'll go through the chicane. It won't be really a chance into turn 7, but maybe up at the hairpin Alex can have a go. He has a look at the inside, but no, he won't get through there. But there are 2 more opportunities on this lap to overtake. I think he's a little bit too far back at the moment though. He's just dropped back by a cart length or so, glances over his shoulder, and you still see that Max Timmermans, number 5, he's there with him. Van Kalmthout's risen back up to 5th position now, and we're going really well here. It's Denise de Rouge, the Dutch driver. She up into the top 6 now as they go through onto the start of the next lap. We've got 6 laps of the race to go, so we're at the halfway mark, Matt.
Yeah, we are indeed. And look at the top 2 still well and truly out front in this one. Thomas Preening leading the way by a very comfortable margin over Dean McDonald. It's even bigger back to third place, which is still that of Richard Verschoor. Alex Quinn still can't quite find his way through. He's tried a couple of corners now. Gets a good run onto the back straight, but it runs out just about at the wrong point. This time, though, he gets a great move down at turn number 6, but then that lets Max Timmermans back into the mix as well. He jumps up into 4th place, then runs wide and lets 2 more carts through, both of those being Rinus van Kamthorpe and also the car of Richard Verschoor. So Max Timmermans, every time he gains 1, he loses 2, so it's not working his way at the minute. Denise de Rouge is also in there as well now on the tail. Yuri Vips going for a move as well down towards the right-hander at turn number 9. Any changes into the final corner? Well, Max is thinking about it. He does go for one. He knocks Richard Verschoor. No, that's not. It's Rinus van Kamthorpe who goes wide. Denise de Rouge comes through as well. They all bump draft down the straight in towards turn number 1. Any move coming yet from the back? Rinus van Kamthorpe back up into now 5th place. Make that. Is it? No. He then falls back wide over the curbs, and Max Timmermans takes advantage once more.
The race leader pulling away all the time. Tommy Preening 1.9 seconds clear now of Dean McDonald, but Dean McDonald in turn is well clear of everybody else. He's 4 odd seconds up the road, so he's safe in second. We got Alex Quinn then into that 3rd spot now, being harried though all the time, isn't he, by Richard Verschoor. And Richard Verschoor goes through up the inside, through the right-hander at turn 7, and following him through is Max Timmerman. So these 2 working well together. And Alex Quinn, that's the trouble, isn't it? You go off the racing line because somebody dies at the inside of you. You can't get back on the line before somebody else also steals your place. So you often lose a couple of places in one fell swoop. So that all switches around again. It's a terrific battle for the final place on the podium. Incidentally, those 3 carts that went off onto the grass but recovered at the back of the field a lap or so ago were Adrian Renadan, number 9, 90, Tony Toyka, number 72, and Luke Wilhelms, number 64. As we see a great move there from Max Timmerman all the way into turn 1 to get ahead of Richard Verschoor. Alex Quinn's trying to nibble at the heels now of the Dutch driver, but Verschoor closes the door. So it's Timmerman's third, Verschoor fourth, Quinn in fifth place. He tries to sweep around the outside now and going onto the back straight. Alex Quinn's going to get alongside and he's going to get one of those places back. So he'll move up to fourth ahead of Richard Verschoor. Into the right hander they come. There you can see Alex Quinn in the red and white suit and the brightly coloured helmet tucking in behind them. But he runs wide, very wide once again on the way into turn 7 and he gives the place back to Richard Verschoor. And all the time the next three are catching them now, led by Denise de Rouge. Yuri Vips is in the mix as well. Sandy Mitchell is at the back of that group. The bright orange helmet. He's had a terrific drive through the order as well. So watch for Sandy. He is very much in the mix here to try and fight for this podium as the race ticks down to 3 laps to go.
Someone who had a mare of a lap there was Rinus van Kalmthorpe, dropped to the rear of the top 10, so he's got work to do to get back through. Change for third, possibly again, a big nudge in towards turn number 1. It's a Richard Verschoor at the minute, all over the tail of Max Timmermans. Again, he runs wide. He's a bit vulnerable on the exit of the corner. That means everyone else behind then starts to rejoin the battle. Alex Quinn is still there. Denise de Rouge as well. Possible move down the inside line, I think. Yeah, it is. Alex Quinn now gets past that of Richard Verschoor. Timmermans is slow out the corner. They all bump again down towards turn number 6. Is there going to be drama here? No, they all keep the tight inside line through turn number 7. Again, Max Timmerman's being pushed wide by Alex Quinn there. He loses 1 place. Denise de Rouge could be a possible contender to get through as well. Not at the minute, though. She continues to push as they head down towards the right-hander at number 9. The top 2, though, are dominating this race. 2 laps to go at the end of this one. And Dean McDonald still not closing the gap on the leader, but he's there in second place. Alex Quinn is third. Fourth place, down the inside, possibly not quite. He thought about it, did Max Timmermans, and then he's going to be vulnerable again to Denise de Rouge. They come onto the straight. This is a great fight for the final step on the podium, Chris.
It's by far the best I've seen Denise de Rouge drive as Timmermans dives down the inside of Quinn on the way into turn 1, runs wide over the curves, but he's got it on the way into turn 2. Timmermans up to third place here. Quinn fourth, for sure. He's fifth. Ron Carnthu's come through as well. I think Denise de Rouge has dropped back 3 or 4 places at least. Somebody further back has stopped, but let's keep an eye on this with 2 laps to go, or 1.5 laps to go for the race leader. He's miles in front, isn't he? You never see a gap of this magnitude in kart racing. Very, very rare. These top 2 have absolutely dominated, haven't they, Preining and McDonald? So they're already going down towards the final turn now and getting ready to start the final lap of the race. The rest of the pack's about to come through into turn 9 then. But the gap's starting to open up for third now as Max Timmermans, having pulled that move off, has got himself 3 or 4 tenths of a second advantage over Richard Verschoor. Alex Quinn is the next one through in 5th place. Then Van Kalmthout, who keeps fighting back there. He's still inside the top 6, and Giannis Slavinsky has made good progress. He's come up to 7th position now in the number 58 kart, so he's gone from 20th on the grid into 7th position. Van Kalmthout down the inside of Alex Quinn to pick up another place. So Reiner's driving really well here. He's up to 5th position, but we've got less than half a lap to go for Tommy Preining. I haven't talked about him too much in the race because he's been so far clear. McDonald's actually hanging on to his pace now. He's on a very similar pace, and they're both much quicker than everybody else out there, and they've just got on with their driving while the rest of them have been busy fighting. There's all sorts of shenanigans outside of the top 10. Alex Quinn has got his hands full here to stay in the top 6 with the queue forming up behind him. But let's have a look at the race leader, Thomas Preining. He's about to become the race winner, and he punches the air before he gets to the flag. He crosses the line now and punches the air with both fists. He's the winner of round 1 of the championship. Oh, and it's tight for third as contact for Shaw's gone through to third, but then Max Timmermans runs over the back of him, and Rinus van Kalmthout takes third place, the last place on the podium, because the other 2 hit each other, delayed each other, and Van Kalmthout just drove past them on the exit to the corner. So Verschoor, who just got in front, then Max Timmermans is absolutely furious with Richard Verschoor with what went on down there in the last couple of corners of the race while we're watching the race leader go through. Absolute drama there. So Tommy Preining wins the race by 2.08 seconds. That's a mile in kart racing. Terrific drive from Thomas. He will be absolutely delighted. He's been wanting this for a long, long time. Well done, Tommy Preining. Beautiful drive that in the final, and equally well done to Dean McDonald. What a superstar in the making he is. 2nd place here in his Euro Challenge debut for the season. He is going to be right up there in the championship this year. He takes second place. He beat everybody else by 10 seconds. It was only Tommy Priding that finished in front of him. Riders van Kalmthout in third place. Reward for his determination, because he kept coming up and down the order and he kept coming back, didn't he, Matt?
He certainly did. He fought hard to get where he did, but that was a cracking race. A big surprise that Thomas Preening won by such a big margin, 2 seconds in the end over Dean McDonald for Strawberry Racing. Third place then was Rinus van Kalmthout, a further 10 seconds back. That's another big margin in karting terms. We've seen so many close heats over the course of the weekend. It means Rinus van Kalmthout comes through in third. Richard Verschoor there in fourth place. Fifth place then for Dzines Slavinsky, a further 13.4 seconds back for M Racing. Nick Dunker was there in sixth place for the Dream Team Racing. Coles Racing then next to the Brits was Alex Quinn in seventh place. Yuri Vips up there for a little bit of the race, then dropped back to eighth as the flag came out. Denny Cruz was in ninth place for Hugo Motorsport. 10th place for Denise de Rouge, another one who went very well towards the end there, but was just past a couple of cars right on that last lap. Outside the top 10, number 11, Max Timmerman's big disappointment for him. Did see down to the final corner, the door was open by Max, but whether there was a gap for the move to be made, I'm not too sure. Of course, it will all be decided after the race. 12th place then for Sandy Mitchell for RL Racing Department UK. 13th place for Leonard Hugenboom. 14th for Dave Woodard. Didn't make too much progress, unfortunately, for Dave. He did have a good second chance heat, and he got up to 14th in the end. Berke Besler was in 15th place for DNR Racing. Sanny van Wagensveld was 16th. Dylan Byes in 17th, and Marvin Pionki in 18th for RS Competition. A little bit lower down, 19th place, Jordan Brown Nutley. Spoke to him on the grid. He dropped down from where he started originally. That was on row number 6, so he dropped about 7 places from the start. Marcus Armstrong, another one who has been very good in the heats so far this weekend, ends up in 20th place. Finney Hutchinson just outside in 21st. Noah Roovers down in 25th for the DFK team. John Baptiste Simonaya in 26th. Luke Vilhelms down in 29th place. And then some of our runners who didn't quite finish. Eric Stuhl in 33rd place, and only 2 laps completed for the kart of Lewis Ferdinand Simonauer. So that's how your top 34 looked at the end of that one. They are your juniors, and you can guarantee there'll be more action like that at the next round in Italy, which is the end of May, the first weekend just about of June. It kind of overlaps there. For more details on all of that, do check out the website, rotaxmaxeurochallenge.com. All the details on there, all the live timing and all the live stream as well that we broadcast over the course of the weekend. Seniors on the way very shortly, the final of the day, if that makes sense. For now, though, let's get downstairs with our top 3. Here's Chris Hartley.
Fantastic race that, wasn't it? So the race winner by 2 seconds was Thomas Priding. Tommy, well done. What a drive. And in the pre-final, you blitzed it. Really comfortable win.
Yeah, thanks to the team, thanks to JVD Power, my parents, my sponsors, everyone involved. It's just unbelievable. We had the speed. I think, to me it was clear that we would be one of the favorites and could finish in the top 5, but I didn't really think of a win. It's, I'm over the moon.
Yeah, you've wanted this for a long time. You're working so hard, I know, to get here. And you've had the confidence and you've always had the speed to be able to do it, but it must now take you to another level. Now you know you can do it. You've done it.
Yeah, it was always a little bit of a problem with the self-confidence, but I think now it's also mental. I'm a bit stronger than before, and we've seen the last 3 races I've won, so I'm confident for the P&L next week and then Castelletto the Euromax.
We see you stayed focused the whole race. You just kept really consistent times. I suppose it could be easy to sort of drift off and not concentrate when you're so far in front.
That's quite hard, but if you you just need to concentrate corner to corner and not think of a winner or something. It's just what I did, and it seems to work, so we can keep on doing like this. Great
start to the year. Well done. Terrific drive. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks very much to Thomas Priding there. He's absolutely beaming, as you can well imagine. We'll see who else we can find. So we can find a couple of our other drivers. And Dean McDonald's kart is here. Here he is. Dean. Hello, well done. You've had loads of messages on Twitter, loads of people back home watching you and cheering you on, and you made them very happy. Second place, well done.
It was a great race. I managed to get in at the start, and Tom got away at the start, and unfortunately I couldn't catch him, but he drove a really good race as well, so I'm just really pleased with second.
Yeah, Tom was a couple of seconds up the road, but you beat everybody else by like 10 seconds. You were miles in front of them.
Oh yeah, I think they done me a bit of a favour fighting as well, so it was a good race, and it was just, I'm really happy to be second.
To be fair, you had to work hard for the start of the race, so the first few laps was a bit of a battle. You had to get your elbows out a bit.
Oh yeah, the first couple of laps was really hard, but managed to put myself on the right bit of track and managed to get my head down and get away from it, so I'm really happy.
This must really give you a massive confidence boost going into the rest of the season now. It's the perfect way to start, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. First race here as well. Really enjoyed it. Really good, and the championship's so well run.
So what's the plan the rest of the series? You're going to do the whole Euro Challenge, and are you doing some racing back home as well?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The next rounds are Euro Max and I think Mini Max back home.
Well done. It's a great drive. Good to have you here. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Dean McDonald there in second place. And in third place was Rhinus van Kalmthout. Here checking the car. Rhinus, wow, well done. Nice surprise that on the last corner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I don't expected that they gonna. It was so nice.
You have to fight really hard in that race because sometimes you were third, sometimes you were like 8th or 9th. You kept trying, kept coming back.
Yeah, I'm overtake, and that was.
This your best race ever, this one today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Well done, Rhinus. You did really well. Congratulations. That's our top 3. They're really good to hear from all of them. As you can imagine, they're all absolutely beaming after terrific drives. We heard from Thomas Pryning, from Dean McDonald, and from Rhinus van Kalmthout. They're our top 3. We're getting ready now for the build-up to our next race in seniors. Before that, let's hand you back to Matt Suckling up in the commentary box.
Thanks very much, Chris. So there you go. They are our top 3 from the juniors. You're going to hear the sound of Joan Jett and I Love Rock and Roll in the background as the carts are now on the grid for our final race of the day. It comes from the senior class, and they're poised for another cracking race. Very shortly, Chris is going to make